Hello and welcome back. I am sure that I have mentioned this several times on my channel, but sewing and I are probably mortal enemies, which is a shame because I desperately want to sew my own clothes. But recently I saw one of my TikTok friends post this adorable sewing tutorial that I will insert right now. Pretty sure it is inspired by a new dress that Doan just came out with, but it looks so cute and it looks so easy that I have to try and do it. I think I'm on a high because of the last dress that I sewed. I think it was in my upcycling my closet video, and it turned out way better than I thought it was going to. So now I kind of have that I can sew anything kind of mentality, you know? So we're gonna try it with another tutorial that seems like too good to be true. It's so easy. I can't remember if she says it in her TikTok or not, but this tutorial works for a dress and it also works for a top version. So I am going to, fingers crossed, hopefully make both of them. That is the plan, at least for now. Obviously, if it doesn't work out, you guys will be the first to know, but it seems easy enough that as of right now, I think I can handle making both. You know what I mean? So that is the plan. I definitely need to make a Hobby Lobby run because I don't have material for this. So I think that is what we are going to do right now. So let's go to Hobby Lobby. Hello, it is the next day, which means it is time to start with my least favorite part of any sewing project, which is cutting everything out, because I feel like this is where I inevitably mess everything up right from the start. And then the whole rest of the project is just incorrect because it started incorrect. Anyway, to avoid that off camera, I already cut, fingers crossed, hopefully, to already avoid that off camera, I already cut into the green fabric to make sure that I have a handle? I had the hang. I got the hang. I already started with the green fabric to make sure I knew what I was doing, and I think I've got the hang of it for the most part. So in the tutorial that I showed you guys, she starts by measuring her bust. So you just measure around your bust and then your shoulder measurements, excuse me. So something roughly like that. I am not the best at giving a tutorial, and that's probably not what this video is going to be anyway, because my lovely friend already has a tutorial for us to watch. So if you are confused by my video just go to her page and watch her tutorials. They're extremely helpful. That being said, I will do the best that I can to explain what I'm doing while I'm doing it, but I am learning also. So I did those measurements, I cut out the pieces, you double the sleeves, so I think mine turned out to be 16 all the way around, and then you double that measurement, so it's 32 by 8. I don't know what the 8 inches is for, I just did what she did. So I did 8 by the 32, and then same thing, you'll get a big square. I'll show you a better clip of what I'm talking about. She shows it in her tutorial as well, but you should have 2 big squares for your body piece, and then 2 long rectangle pieces. And then you should have 4 total pieces. So 2 sleeve pieces and then a front and back of the body of the dress. Another thing that I noticed that is a little bit of a bummer, it's really not that big of a deal. I will show you. After cutting out all of the pieces that I needed to make the dress out of the green fabric, this is all that is left. So I don't think that I'm going to be able to make a dress and a top from both sets of fabric, unfortunately. Obviously I'm going to use this for another project whenever that comes around. I do have a little bit more of the blue fabric because, like the tutorial said, I asked for 3 yards of fabric, and there was just a little bit more of the blue fabric, so I told her that I would take just all that they had left. Since I'm practicing, I thought it would be nice to have a little bit extra fabric, but we'll see if that will even be enough to make a top. I will keep you posted, but I think that we're just gonna have 2 dresses at the end of this. I could make the other, I don't know, we'll see. I think I want 2 dresses, but I might change my mind. We will see. Okay, I did the next part off camera because I am trying very hard to do these well because I actually want to wear them. So I'm just taking a lot of extra time to make sure that these are being done correctly. Anyway, I'll just show you what I did. So on the sleeves and on the body of the dress on the side, I made little arrows to signify what was the top of the dress. So you are going to make 2 4x4 triangles on the top of your dress, and then with the sleeve going the long way, so not like this short side, this side, I hope that makes sense. You're going to make your 4x4 triangles, and then you are going to cut those off. I will show you that after. I still have all of my pieces together, so you should have 8 triangles all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8. Anyway, I'm going to cut those triangles, and then so like that one and that one will meet together, and that'll be like the top of the dress, if that makes sense. Anyway, I'm just going to cut them out, and then I will do the other dress, probably off camera. All right, this is what it should look like once you cut those little 4x4 triangles off. Now, all that is left to do is pin it together and sew.
I've got to go.
Well, have a good day.
Okay, so I just finished connecting all of the sleeves to the bodice on both of the dresses. So she says the next step is to add the elastic through the neck hole. She suggests pressing the fabric just so you have like a channel that's like big enough to like fit your elastic. Speaking of the elastic, I got 2 different sizes. I got one that is 3/8 and then one that is a 1/4. I think I'm going to use this thicker, hold on, I'll get it out so you can see it better. I think I'm going to use this thicker one, the 3/8 one. So you just fold down a piece of fabric. Honestly, using the gingham is like really helpful because I have like lines. But you just want to make a channel that is big enough for this to slide through, if that makes sense. If not, go watch her video. She explains it very well. Hello. Oh my God, I love sewing. So upon further review, she does explain how long your elastic should be. I thought I had watched that video 1,000 times and I didn't need to watch it again, but I made a mistake. So you do measure the elastic around your bust and your armpit the same you did with the elastic or your measuring tape. You don't have to use the measuring tape. I did, I think it's fine, but I skipped steps. Don't put your elastic in yet. Kind of feels like self-explanatory. Just sew your channels. The elastic will be the very last thing you do. Unfortunately, though, the biggest concern that I have now is this. I was just sewing the elastic channels for the blue gingham dress, and I don't know if you can see that, but I broke the needle from my sewing machine. I don't know how or if I have another needle. Oh, God. I don't think I do. And if I do, I don't know how to fix that. So I guess I have to Google now. For point of reference on how much I hate sewing, I started this morning at maybe 10:30. It is almost 6 p.m. Maybe I'm exceptionally slow, but nothing makes me want to throw away a project than working your whole day away. And you still, anyway, I'm just gonna calm down and I'm gonna look for a solution, I guess. Okay, I'm embarrassed. Crisis averted. I got really lucky. I immediately found a needle in my sewing stash and it was very easy to reattach. I am coming at you before I have tested my work, so the world could very easily crash and burn again, so let's see. Okay, I just finished sewing up the side seams on both dresses and doing the little channel for the puff sleeves. This is what your dress should look like if you follow her directions exactly and you don't jump ahead like I did. Here is what the green dress is looking at that I accidentally put the elastic in the neckline part already. I did put the channeling in the sleeves. It is so much easier, again, which is why you should follow the directions. It is so much easier to do the channel when it's like this than when you have already, you know, gathered your neckline. But I think that it looks so cute. I have gone through hell, so I am very glad that I at least like what's happening here. I did promise myself that I would be done sewing by 7 p.m. and it is like 6:50 something. So I'm right on time, sort of. I think for the remainder of the night, I am going to sit on the couch, watch probably Adventure Time, if you can hear it in the background. And I'm just going to fish that elastic through all of the channels on both dresses and then call it a night. And then tomorrow, I will hem the bottom of the dresses and we will be officially done. I do think, however, that on both of the dresses, I am going to take off a decent amount of length. I got a little worried, I don't know. I was just being cautious, I suppose, because while I was watching the tutorial, she mentioned that she is 5'3". I am not 5'3". I am much taller than that. So I didn't want to do the length of the dress the exact same because I'm a lot taller. But I think I gave myself a little bit too much length, which is perfectly fine. That is an easy fix and much better than too short, in my opinion. So I will just hem what needs to be hemmed or trim whatever needs to be trimmed, hem the dresses. And I think that's all I'm gonna do. I have some green ribbon that I'm playing around with the idea of adding it to the green dress. But I'm not totally sure yet. But yeah, that is all for tonight. That was a very, very, very long day of sewing. So I will see you tomorrow. Hello, it is the next day. I'm just gonna give you a little update on where the dresses are at right now. So here they both are. I know this is not a very good representation of what they're looking at or looking like so far, excuse me. But this is just what we're gonna do for now. The next step for these dresses and the final step, except for maybe this green one, I'm still playing around with adding a little bow since I have some really cute green ribbon, but I'm not really sure on that one. Anyway, but the last official real step is to hem the bottom of the dress. I have not tried either of these on, so I'm going to do that first because I also might want to trim a little off of the bottom. Like I said yesterday, the girly in the tutorial said she is 5'3". I am not 5'3", so I added a couple of inches just in case. But I don't think I needed to do that, but we will see in the try on for sure. Okay, I have the first dress on. I'm showing you a very silly angle because I don't want to spoil what it looks like, and I also don't want to show you my toes. Anyway, so like I had anticipated, it feels a little bit too long. I honestly think I want it to fall more here. So that's a good chunk of fabric that I don't need. It's this part of the sewing machine, if anybody knows. Okay. Oh. Alright, that officially does it for this little sewing adventure, and I am pooped. But before I get into complaining, let's talk positively for a second, because I am literally so stoked about these dresses. I safety pinned this little ribbon onto the green dress just because I wasn't totally sure if I wanted it or not. But looking back at like the footage that I filmed for the little reveal, I think it's way cuter if it has like a little ribbon. So on this, one second. So on the blue gingham, I think I have a like velvety red kind of ribbon that I'm going to add to the front of this. And then instead of just safety pinning this here, I think I'm going to permanently sew that on. But not for a while, because let me tell you. Me and sewing, like I said, are arch nemesis. Before I get into how I am just a poor seamstress, her tutorial is extremely easy to follow. These dresses were extremely easy to make. I am just not very good at sewing. I broke 3 needles. I ran out of bobbin thread 3 or 4 times. I am really grateful that I learned how to do a lot of things on my sewing machine that I did not know how to do previously. But wow, does it take the wind out of your sails. And I know that crafting in general is just kind of tedious, and oftentimes one wrong move can mess up the rest of the project. And I understand that. It is just a frustrating process. So, all of that happened on top of me filming. I had previously had in my mind that I was going to make this like a very aesthetic video, because I wasn't sure if this was gonna be fun to watch. I'm still not sure if this is gonna be fun to watch. But the minute that I started the process of sewing, that all like went out the window. I could not be bothered to come up with aesthetic, fun shots. I just needed to get this project done. So that being said, I don't know, I don't want to say never, but I definitely think I need to do some more sewing practice. before I film, or I just need to let go of being precious with, anyway, I think I'm just burnt out of sewing for a second. So regardless of whether I film it or whether I don't film it, Mama needs a break from that darn sewing machine. I thought the machine broke at one point because somehow my presser foot had gotten loose, probably because my machine is rolling. It is the most janky sewing machine. It got the job done. I am so obsessed with these dresses, so I really should not complain too much because they are darling. This one I think looks especially nice with my complexion and my hair and my freckles. I think that when I was filming this one in the reveal, it just kind of felt like it was missing something. Let me show you the ribbon because I think it'll be so cute, and I'm not going to sew any more for this video, but I just want you to have a better idea of what I'm thinking. Okay, I just quickly tied it into a little bow so that I could paint you a little picture, maybe. Like that? Oh, come on. That's like so cute. Cutie pie girl. So I think I'll add that ribbon on. I'll officially add that one on and then we will call it done. But that's just hand sewing. So I think I'm going to finally relax. These past 2 days have been chock full of sewing. And I'm done. So I'm gonna relax now. I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you so much for hanging out with me while I sewed a very, very easy, like please, honestly, I feel like I've complained a lot in this video and it's because I just sewing, you know? But if you have like wanted to sew your own clothes and you just like didn't know where to start and you love a baby doll dress, get into this tutorial. I will leave all of her stuff down below, as well as you saw it at the beginning of the video. Very easy. Try it out. If you do try it out, I would love if you shared it with me. Okay, anyway, I've talked for too long. Goodbye.